So we removed the pot that was in the front and pushed it back next to the door. I'm going to use, and this is optional, I'm going to be using burnt sienna, and just going to put a layer of burnt sienna on this pot. I'm using a flat brush, but any brush will do. Flat, round. Let's put a bit of burnt umber or raw umber here. I have a bit of raw umber. I'm just going to put it down here over the pot because it's really, it's very orange and it's flat. So I'm just going to darken some areas. It's raw umber and burnt sienna. Let's highlight this one a bit. Good. I like to use cadmium orange when I'm highlighting burnt sienna. Just a little bit. Okay. I have sap green here from when I was fixing this area where there's grass. So I put a little bit of green in here with the corner of my brush, sap green, a little bit of raw umber or any brown you have. And with the corner of the brush, just kind of give it a little bit of dabbing. We'll put flowers in there. Okay. This is Naples yellow. I just have it there because I was fixing the wall, and I'm mixing Naples yellow with sap green. Okay. Same idea with the highlighted green, which is, I'm just using, because I have the colors, um, using sap green and Naples yellow. And just kind of put a couple here. Eventually we'll do the same thing. We'll just put some orange, pink on this side as well. Just continue the pink on this side. So I'm just going to leave it to dry and then I'll come back to it in a minute. I'm going to pause. All right. So for this one here, this pot on the left hand side, I have cadmium yellow medium, and with the round brush, I'm just going to add a couple of hint of flowers in here. I'm using a round brush, but I'm not sure. Yeah, a round brush will be fine. Yes, fine. White and yellow. And I'm going to highlight some of the leaves using sap green and cad yellow medium, just because I want to bring the value of the leaves. Actually, it needs a little bit of white as well, maybe for the leaves. The value of the green that I have here close to the yellow I'm putting in there. So I don't want too much dark and then strong yellows without having same light green in there. That's enough. That's good. More than enough. And let's take red. I'm going to use a different brush. I'm going to use this brush. Red. Let's put a tiny bit of sap green in the red. Start putting a couple of flowers in here. A little bit of white in this cadmium red light. And that's it. We're just going to leave it. Okay. So now I'm going to try to put the cat in. I have Payne's Gray and white. It's a black cat and it has a white part. So with a small brush, round brush, let's get some water here so I get a nice flow of paint. Ears.
That's straight Payne's Gray, that part, right?
Straight Payne's Gray.
Yeah.
One of the ears is too close to the other one, so I'm gonna. I take a bit of white right now and add to it Payne's Gray for now, just for me to be able to get the shape of the face. Even if it looks a bit too white, that's okay. That is the part where I am just shaping the face of the cat. Nose. adjust this part a bit. Yeah, that's good. Eyes right there. Oops. All right, I'm going to use a little bit of the raw umber I had before with the white. Lots of white for this part here, because I don't want to just put, I don't want to put just Payne's gray and white. Highlight where the nose is, white with tiny bit of raw umber. Just there. I'm adding a little bit of white to the Payne's gray, so I can just kind of add a little bit of highlights. Okay, a little bit more. Highlight where the back is right there, so it doesn't look like it's flat completely. And honestly, just leave it. Let's see if I can manage to put some whiskers. Okay. White, very fine round brush, and a little bit of water in your paint. All right. Now I'm just going to put a tiny bit of a raw umber and white over here. This is where the nose is. And I'm going to leave it. And let's do this. Fix this part. All right, that's it. For the lamp, I'm going to use burnt sienna. This is burnt sienna, burnt umber, and white. So I'm going to take burnt sienna, a little bit of burnt umber. This will give me room to highlight the burnt sienna if I just combine both of them, instead of using burnt umber and then putting white over that to highlight, because then it will turn pink. And start from the top. You will see it more once I start highlighting. Right now I'm just putting the first layer. So I'll explain again what I'm doing. I have the first one short, first one up here, short. That's where the finial is going to be sitting. Finial's right there. Then a wider one line in here, and it's like something like this. That's what I'm doing. Something like this. And then a white one like that. So kind of 3. We're going to keep it simple. And then I'm going to take down, down. Whoops. Okay. Let's do this here. Another one, smaller, wide one here, wider than the side wider than the side, and then smaller one, and then we'll just put a finial in there, just round one maybe, like that. So let's take this a little bit out, and then curve. Let's put a bit of orange in this, like we did last with the pot. I always like to start with darks and then highlight. Now there's another color, the rust color. That's what I'm trying to get, just kind of a rust color. An orangey red, orange brown, sorry. And another one. I will highlight more in a minute. I like to do my highlights slowly. Now I'm going to take both colors like I did before, burnt sienna and cadmium orange again, but this time I'm going to add a bit of white. Wet my brush so it slides easily on the canvas. Now, to highlight this part, I'm going to highlight from here down and from here down this way, instead of highlighting it all the way up. And you'll see in a minute, I'm going to be highlighting a little bit more, and that will make sense once I do that. Because this lantern is not flat. Part of it is higher, kind of, not higher. It comes out more than the other part. So it will cast a shadow over the side of the lantern. And I'll show you. This one is out more. This one is out. This is high. This one is coming out, which is, it's protruding out. So you will have more highlights on this side. And the highlight down here will start from this point down. So it's not all the way up. If you put it all the way up, that means this part is same level as the side, and it's not. It comes up, so it casts a shadow over the rest of the lantern. Okay, now let's see. For the inside, I still have some cadmium yellow medium and orange. And we have a little bit of brown in here. So I'm going to start by putting this color in here, and we'll see if it's too if it blends too much with the actual structure or the lantern, then I can change it to blue. But I'm going to try to give it a bit of a yellowy color. Now I'm going to take just yellow with white, and let's put a little bit in here. Some orange with yellow and white. This is cadmium yellow light. Orange. Cadmium yellow light and white. Soften it a bit with orange and cadmium yellow light, combined, mixed together. I'm gonna let it dry, and then I would probably, what I'll do is take burnt umber, like a glaze, put it over here and glaze this part. This is cadmium yellow light and a bit of white in there. And I'm going to do the same. Take burnt sienna, cadmium yellow light, a bit of white. So the reason I'm adding cadmium yellow light to burnt sienna is just because when I add, if I add just white to burnt sienna, it's going to turn pink. And all I want is, I want to highlight part of this lantern right here with a stronger light. I'm mixing burnt umber and a tiny bit of Naples yellow. That's the color of the wall. Actually, you know what? Let's take Naples yellow. And instead of burnt umber, I'm going to use ultramarine violet. So Naples yellow, a little bit of Naples yellow, ultramarine violet, tiny bit of the burnt umber, just tiny bit, or raw umber. If you still have raw umber, add it in there. I'm going to make my color a little bit like a glazy, not too much, just a bit. I'm going to try to put some shadows over here. so the lamp doesn't look like it's floating. Shape a bit the shadows. Especially here, where it curves in. It doesn't have to be accurate. Okay. All right, that's good. The cat looks like it's looking at the lamp. Okay, I'm going to try to use a very simple bird shape, like this one maybe, and paint it right there, and then I'll paint the handle. So a bird like this shouldn't take too long. I will zoom in, and then I'll start doing the bird. All right. For the bird, I'm using cerulean blue, black, ivory black, or any black, cerulean blue, and white. Small round brush. And start with a combination of a little bit of blue and cerulean blue and a little bit of black. Very simple. Straight back. Straight line. And then kind of a roundish head. Then I'm going to take the bottom part and do this shape. Again, I'm going to adjust the head a bit. Just make it a little bit wider, bigger, as a semicircle, half a circle. Head, body is straight back, and kind of have a circle at the bottom too, kind of. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Okay. Now, I'm going to take white, a little bit of cerulean blue with black, and slowly I'm going to add my highlights, or my not highlights, it's the other part of the body of the bird, which is the bottom part and the head, and you'll see in a minute. So I'm going to take white, with blue, and bring it in to the side like that. I'm going to take black on my, and if this is too small, don't worry about the beak. Mine is 8 by 10, so this bird is really tiny. I will try to put a beak, but we'll see how it goes. All right. Now, honestly, I'm going to make it as simple as possible. Eye, a little bit of an eye right there. And then I'm going to keep it to dry a bit. And then meanwhile, I'm going to take cerulean blue and white. And give this part, we're going to keep the cerulean blue showing, so not too much white, but we're just highlighting this cerulean blue a little bit. And highlight this part, which is the blue part. And because this is really small, on a small scale, we don't need to put too much detail. Okay, now let's take white, a little bit of black in it, so it's kind of a grayish color, more white, because we're going to highlight this part of the bird right here. Very, very simple, really not too much work, no detail. This is more than enough as far as detail. As long as, we can see the bird, it's enough. I'm going to take a little bit of black. Put the feet. And just leave it like that. That is more than enough. It's perfect. You could see it when somebody's looking at the cat, the eye will go there to see what the cat is looking at, and then you can see the bird. And that's it. Okay, for the handle, I'm going to try to use the same colors I used for the lantern, so we're not using too many colors. I have burnt umber, burnt sienna, and cadmium orange. So I'm going to take burnt sienna, a little bit of burnt umber, I don't want to use black or Payne's gray. That's a bit too harsh. What I'm going to do is a very simple handle. It's like a cone. It has a design, a little bit of a detail on top. I'm going to highlight it with cadmium orange. And you're welcome to put any color you like. Don't highlight all the way down because that makes it needs to be, it's a curve. If you're looking at this sideways, it would be like this. Something like this, where this part up here, this part right there is the one that's coming out. This is the door. And if we're looking sideways, this is what we're seeing. So I could do a little bit of a design at the bottom as well to make it look like this part coming out, but it's too small. It has this on top, so that means it has this part. I'm taking white, adding it to my orange and burnt sienna, water, a little bit more white, and really that's all we need to put in there. Just working on the values a bit so they're not too strong of a difference between the highlighted part and the part that's dark. I'm going to put a little bit of a whitish drop in there just to give it. Okay, good. This is done. I'm going to take brown, make it look like more like a glaze. Maybe not. No. Okay, so remove it before it dries. I was trying to get some shadow of this handle, but honestly, this is a very small area. It's very hard to control, and to put a shadow over this, just let's put the handle only. That would be enough. Okay. Okay, done. All right, this project is done. We're going to move on to the next one. That was a very cute and nice little project to work on. Okay, this is done.